Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Today we're doing my nails. I'm just showing you the time, 11:15. This is our starting time, so you guys can know how long this set takes me. Took me a while, I'm not gonna lie. But today we're using the DVOK unicorn collection. And if you've seen my swatching video, you'll already know how I feel about this collection. I'm obsessed, like unhealthily obsessed with this collection. I think I've tried to put it on every single one of my clients I've gotten since I swatched it, and honestly I've succeeded. I've got this collection on so many people, especially after they see it on my nails, the nails that you're about to see. Everyone's really excited about it. The cat eyes are so stunning, they're so shifty, everyone's loving. There's like a pinkish shade and a bluish shade, and they have such a good reflect to them, and everyone's been obsessed with those. So that I haven't twisted too many arms getting those on my clients. They've accepted them willingly. So yeah, that's what we're doing today. We're doing a dual form extension set, which it's been a while since I've done this style of set on myself. It was a bit of a struggle, I'm not gonna lie, and I'm pretty sure that's where a lot of my time ended up being, is getting this this extension set onto myself. I also think I could have used different dual forms and I would have had an easier time at it, but I wanted to use the ones that I did. We'll get into that when you see it, but you know. We're starting off with prep. My nails were already removed because if you can see on my thumb there, I have some green paint. I had removed my last set because I had airbrushed a poster for my friend's baby shower, and I had gotten airbrush paint all in every single crevice of my nail and my being. So I took off my nails, and then we're starting off nice and fresh here. So we pushed back the cuticles, we've used the e-file a bit under the cuticles, lifted them up, trimmed the cuticles, and now we're just going around and we're roughing up with a light sanding band, light pressure, low, I think we're on 1 on my e-file here, and did I say light sanding band? Fine sanding band, light pressure, low speed, and we're just roughing up my natural nail plate here, so then we get some good adhesion with the gel products. You want to get it around, tuck into all the side walls, make sure everything's nicely etched up because you don't want to get any lift in. But yeah, I filmed this video. I put these nails on about 2 weeks ago, and I'm still obsessed with them. I still get so many compliments. Like all my clients before I put on gloves, they're like, hang on, let me see. We're all here for it. They're very like, I know this is like a unicorn collection. Sorry, this is the Feel So Good. Let me interrupt my rambling. This is the Feel So Good base. This is a really great base for any of your problem clients. I use this to adhere full cover tips. It's a really sticky base. It's got a short brush, so it's great for scrubbing the gel into the crevices we've just made with our e-file sanding band situation. Yeah, I really like it. But yeah, the set that we're doing today is kind of like a little bit fairyish, a little bit witchy, which I know the unicorn collection feels more like cotton candy, but I don't know. I just kept seeing magic and witchiness in like a very pastel way. So that's where we've ended up with this set today. And they're beautiful and I love them. So once we've got that base coat applied and cured, I'm just going over and I'm wiping off the sticky layer because now I'm going to size out my dual forms. I'm using the Sarah and Friends, I believe it's called. Everything will be linked, but yeah, these are just the almond shape. They fit fine. I probably should have sized up a little bit. I have a little bit of a curve to my nail, so I probably could have done a different dual form, but I don't know. I had my heart set on these ones, I think because I wanted like long skinny nails. I actually wanted to do my nails the full length of the dual form, and I didn't. You'll see I didn't end up doing that, but I had hopes. I am using the Izemi, what is this, Multi version 1. This is just me experimenting. I wanted to see if this was possible. Like, I know it's physically possible. I can create extensions with this, but this product is a little bit runnier. They do a version 1 and a version 2. The version 2 is definitely a little bit thicker. If I were to do this again, I don't have the version 2, but I would say I would definitely use the version 2. I will also note that Izemi is a 30-second cure. Like, she's fast curing. What that means when it comes to doing dual forms though is she's curing so quickly that you're gonna get that heat spike because you have a lot of gel on your finger there. You're definitely gonna feel that heat spike. So if you were to opt to use a Zemi to do dual forms, I would be doing like a quick in and out of the light situation, so you're not frying your fingertips off, because I definitely, I don't know why, I would forget every time, and then all of a sudden I'd be like, oh dear God. But yeah, I know I really wanted to use my Zemi for these, just for science, you know, women in STEM. But yeah, just flash curing those on, and then using my little orange wood stick before it's fully cured to get some of the excess of the gel out, or move it into places where I feel like I need a bit more gel. Yeah. But yeah, my application on this, guys, not my finest work. I mean, I was using, like I said, I was using gel I probably shouldn't have been using, or not that I should have been using, I was making it a little bit harder on myself. But look how satisfying, popping these off. But yeah, there were a few gaps in side walls I noticed once I popped off my dual forms. So I'm just, I don't know if you'll be able to tell here, I'm just wiping those off with alcohol, but I'm gonna go back in and just kind of fill in with a little liner brush, fill in some of those gaps. You can see here. And then just pop that in the light real quick. Flash that, cure that into its place, and then fill in more, just to make sure we don't have any weak side walls. You can kind of check that while you have the dual forms on. Like once you've kind of flashed them into place, you can kind of fill in a little bit more gel, but I didn't notice. Now I'm just getting rid of some of that length. The tips weren't that strong. I could have filled them in a bit, but I opted to just remove some of the length because I think me thinking I was gonna have these really, really long nails was a little optimistic anyway. You know, I go from having like the shortest nails to all of a sudden thinking I can have like double XLs. I can't. Basically, I can't. Mentally, physically, you know. I also wasn't really sure what shape I was going for when I started filing these. So my shape will get more narrow as time goes on. Because I started with this kind of like loosely almondy situation. And then eventually I'm just like, you know what? Let's do more. Let's taper them more. So eventually we will get more and more tapered. But so I'm doing just like a loose, rough shaping here. Filing dual form extensions and filing like, let's say Gel X, it's a different experience. You have to be a lot more cautious when you're filing dual forms because you can really eat away at your side walls. That's almost where it benefits to have a little bit more of thickness underneath the dual forms, as if you plan to change your shape a lot so you don't lose too much of it, and then you file out the undersides after. But that in of itself is like another whole deal. Another whole situation. If you've done dual forms on yourself before, then you'll know. And tried to shape change, I should say. But I'm just using my sanding band there, and I'm just going around kind of the cuticle sidewall area and getting rid of that little lip of gel that I have from the stamp of the dual form. Just smoothing that out. If you leave the little ridge, especially along your sidewalls, you're more than likely to get lifting because it's gonna like snag. It's not flush. You wanna try and get everything as flush as possible. Just for longevity, and also so it doesn't get stuck in your hair, because that's a whole nother pain in the ass. I feel like universally, your nails getting stuck in your hair, it's one of the most hated things. That's the one complaint, is if something can get stuck in somebody's hair. Which I absolutely understand. It's a disgusting feeling. But yeah, now I'm just, okay, I was supposed to say I'm smoothing out over top. I've done dual form, so they really don't need to be smoothed over top. I don't know, I have a fear that when my gel is too perfect like that what if my next layer doesn't stick properly? So I'm just gonna rough it up over top. And I'm grabbed my little under nail cleaner bit, and I'm just getting rid of any excess gel underneath. Ideally, when you're doing dual forms, you'll have a bit of a free edge on your natural nail. And so this would also be the time where you'd remove that free edge. It's important to have a little bit of a free edge So then that way the gel, when you're applying the dual form, doesn't seep underneath your fingernail and get on your skin, and if you have an extended nail bed, doesn't get on that. So yeah, cleaning up underneath is not only for cleaning up the gel, but also for cleaning up any spillage, or what is that called? Free edge. God. Just going in with the Izemi base coat here, just to smooth everything over, connect any, like if there was a few millimeters of distance between the dual form placement and the back cuticle, that's just going to smooth that out. Smooth any texture I created with my e-file, you know, the huge. I do really like this upgraded Izemi bottle. I think it's very cute, and if the nail industry can tell you anything, it's that we appreciate cuteness, and I feel like Izemi's finally like, okay, so we should pick a less like scientific looking bottle and more of a cutesy one. They're speaking to us. Now we're moving in with the DVOK collection. I'm gonna have these all, I'll have the entire collection linked in the description box. I know at the time, I haven't checked actually today, but this collection has been sold out on Sweetie Nail Supply, but there is a notify button. If it is sold out and you go to check it out, you can be notified when it's back in stock. I also am a brand ambassador for Sweetie, so you can get 10% off by using code Rebecca. It works on the entire site. Love that, love a discount. This color here actually I'm using is not a cat eye. All the other gels are cat eyes that I'm gonna be using, except for this one. This one is just freaking beautiful. It's like the sheer purple with these big flaky blue flakes in it. Absolutely, absolutely divine. So when I'm doing my cat eye, everyone loves to apply cat eye in a different way. My usual method is to apply one base coat, no magnetization, no whatever, cure that, and then the second coat we go in with, that's where I pull out the magnet. And that's where we let her sparkle. You can demagnetize the first layer and then magnetize the second layer. So you're like kind of getting rid of any of the sparkle on the first layer, if that makes sense. But I don't do that for no reason in particular. Okay, but here's the fun stuff. Watching that shift, are you kidding me? I feel like the lighting I have going on in this video actually is a pretty good representation of how the shift looks in real life too. I think that first one was, at least. Also, my nail lamp, if you see my hands like panic at any point, like they kind of just did, it's because I accidentally keep turning on the nail lamp with the back of my hand resting on it because it's touch. Okay, apply a nice juicy layer of that, and then we go in with the magnet. Oh my lord. Okay, see, it's like a warmer shift, but then you get that blue sparkle that sits behind, and it almost looks like it's like a chrome. Guys, I want to throw up every time I look at these because they're so beautiful. Sorry if that's too graphic. No, they're stunning. This color in particular, that I'm applying right now, I think might be my favorite. It's so nice. Look at it. It's just like, oh my god. Okay, then this darker shade is super pretty. This one would actually be really good on its own as like a witchy. What about unicorns gives me witch? I don't know. I've been on witch talk a lot lately. I don't know how I end up there, but I always do. Okay, and then I'm gonna cure this one, and I'm actually going to add, just for funsies, a layer of that middle finger color, because I just wanted a bit of blue shimmer to it. It didn't add like a ton, I'm looking at it now. Well, it added a decent amount. It just added like a bit of that blue glitter, but like it's not like an obvious thing. Now I'm just grabbing some of that Izemi top coat. This is a non-wipe, important for when you're doing the undersides of the nails, and I'm just coating the underside of the nail. We've not only etched up the underside when we were filing out, but because it is a clear nail, it will add a little bit of transparency to the nail, which is what I wanted when doing clear nails. Okay, I'm doing a bit of airbrushing here, very, very, very light airbrushing. I just wanted the tips of my nails, I want to look like my fingertips had been singed by fire. Like, I don't know, that just felt magical to me. Like I'd been doing witchcraft and I don't know. Anyways, so that's what I wanted. And so that's what we're doing. I'm doing this with an airbrush. If you have, I know powders and stuff are super popular these days. You could totally do that with that. I don't have much experience with using powder, so I can't speak on that thoroughly, but you could also totally use, you could do like a gel ombre if you don't have either of those as well. It'd be a little bit more finicky, but I have faith in you all. You could do it. Just filing around the free edge to make sure that there's no airbrush on the free edge because I don't want it to cause any issues. I treat my airbrush like I treat my chrome, file away the free edge, and then eventually we will cap in. We're using stickers today. I'm obsessed with these stickers. I think I got them on Temu like a while ago, so unfortunately I won't be able to link them for you. But you know, they're out there. I've seen them. And they're freaking beautiful. They're like layered black and silver, and they're a little bit textured, and they're just absolutely stunning. I'm not gonna lie, I used, I think, all the little glitter stars, like the one that I'm peeling up now. I think I used all of them in my set. So there are none left for my clients. My apologies to my clients. But I love them. They're great. And it just like totally gives like the perfect kind of like witchy fairy vibe, dark fairy kind of situation. Can you tell I've been reading too many fantasy books? I need to read like a normal modern day book where people are humans and not fairies or vampires. But I don't want to. So just applying a bunch of those stickers basically. And then I'm capping in my airbrush and also capping in those stickers with a base coat. This will just seal in the airbrush and also just create a bit of a smoother surface over top of those stickers, because when we top coat later on, it's nice to have like more of a glassy surface. And for a bit more detailing though, I am going in with my Jinbei Ivy Fix. This is the tube, so I can put on like a little straight line, squirt on a little straight line. And I'm just grabbing caviar beads. I have that tray, you can kind of see there, and it's all mixed sizes of caviar beads, and I'm creating like a beaded necklace. You could totally do this with a chain if you have chain to cut. It would actually be easier, but I like to make life a little bit more difficult for myself, and so I'm hand placing all these tiny beads, but it's beautiful. I love this effect. I think it's so stunning, and it creates just like, I don't know, I think especially mixing the sizes of the beads, it creates just like this, like, I don't even know, I'm looking at them now, I'm like, witchy? I've already said witchy 40,000 times. I don't know, the vibes are great though. Now I'm doing it again on my thumb. I'm going to put down 2 rows of beads, but I'm gonna, because my thumbnail is wider, I have a lot more beads to put on. I have to kind of like, there's a lot more finicking and finessing that goes into this one. So I'm only gonna work 1 strand at a time, which you can totally do. You don't have to do like how I showed you in the first nail, both at the exact same time, but you can if you want. You just may have to like have a little bit more patience. It can be a bit tedious. I threw down some black crystals in there because you know what? We're witches. And then same idea, just flash curing. Now, always, I'm gonna say this from now until forever, you want to cap in all of your especially metal bits. This is not only gonna help them stay on your nails, but it's also going to help them keep their finish. So I don't wanna lose any of that silver finish. So I'm gonna cap them in with that was the tub of Ivy Fix, just painted over top. But now we've moved on to top coat, and this is the Izemi Mid Wipe top coat. This top coat's so shiny. I'm staring at my nails right now. They still look beautiful over 2 weeks in. Not a scratch in sight. Well, I'm not gonna say that because I've definitely accidentally filed into one of my nails and there's scratches on there, but you know, they look great otherwise. But this top coat is awesome. It is a wipe, so you will need to wipe it with alcohol after, but this one is in the mid. It also comes in low and high, which means low is thinner, high is thicker. Works great for art. So I'm wiping that all down, getting off any of the airbrush as well that's on my fingers. And there's the time, 4:30. So about 5 hours on this end, just about. But look how good they look. They are so freaking beautiful. That's without flash, and then this is with flash. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will catch you in the next one.